Your Majesty, the treasures.
There are things more precious than jewels. My children.
Russia, 1919. The Romanov Empire had fallen. Revolution consumed the country. And Empress Maria Feodorovna, mother of the last Tsar of Russia, was fleeing the empire before it disappeared forever. In 2012, somewhere in the American Midwest, possibly in Ohio, Illinois, or Indiana, a man walked into a flea market, a market filled with old objects, scrap metal, broken watches, and dusty boxes nobody had touched in years. But among all those forgotten items, something caught his attention. A strange golden egg. It wasn't inside a glass case. There were no guards around it. Nobody seemed to care about it. It was just sitting there quietly among piles of junk. The man picked it up. It felt heavy. Gold covered the surface, small gemstones were embedded into it, and a tiny watch was attached to the front. The seller gave him a price, $14,000. The man paused for a moment and bought it, not because he thought he had found treasure, but because he believed melting the gold would make him a profit. He took the egg home, and for months, one of the world's strangest lost treasures sat quietly on his kitchen counter. Months passed, until one night, when the man couldn't sleep, his eyes landed on the egg once again. The dim kitchen light reflected softly off the gold. Slowly, he walked toward it, picked it up, and this time, he noticed tiny writing engraved on the surface. Out of curiosity, he opened his laptop and typed the words into Google. For the first few seconds, nothing made sense. But then, strange images began appearing. Royal eggs, gold, jewels, and one name, Fabergé. The man froze. The object that had been sitting on his kitchen counter for months was not just an old golden egg. And what he saw that night on Google was far more than a few simple pictures. Those images took him directly back more than 100 years. Russia, 1885. At that time, the Romanov dynasty ruled over the largest empire on Earth.
Hurry up, the Tsar is receiving guests tonight.
Clear the corridor for the royal advisors.
Set the table quickly. Everything must be perfect.
I invited you here tonight because there is something important I wish to discuss with you.
Has something happened, Your Majesty?
No, I am searching for a gift for the Empress.
A gift, Your Majesty?
I want something special. I believe I know someone, Your Majesty. Someone capable of creating the finest masterpiece in all of Russia.
Then bring him to me. I want to meet this man personally.
Peter Carl Fabergé was not an ordinary jeweler. He came from a family of master goldsmiths, but his talent quickly surpassed everyone around him. For years, he traveled across Europe studying jewelry, art, gemstones, and luxury craftsmanship. By the time he returned to Russia, his creations were so detailed, so unique, that even the Imperial Romanov family became fascinated by his work. Eventually, he earned the highest honor possible, official jeweler of the Russian Imperial Court.
Master Fabergé, I bring a message from the Tsar's royal advisor.
The Tsar?
You are requested at the Imperial Palace immediately.
If the Tsar wishes to meet me personally, then this must be something very important.
The Imperial Palace has been preparing all evening.
Your Majesty, the Tsar's guest has arrived.
Please escort him inside.
Your Majesty, it is an honor beyond words to stand before you.
Welcome, Master Fabergé. My husband speaks very highly of your work, Master Fabergé.
The Tsar is far too generous, Your Majesty.
They say no jeweler in Europe creates beauty the way you do.
I simply try to create something worthy of the Imperial family.
Europe grows more unstable every year. Then Russia must appear stronger than ever, Your Majesty. Well, gentlemen, I wish you all a pleasant evening. Do you know why I brought you here tonight, Master Fabergé? I can only imagine, Your Majesty. I want you to create something the world has never seen before. For what occasion would Your Majesty like this masterpiece to be created? For Easter. But not an ordinary gift. I want something my wife will remember for the rest of her life.
Easter was the most sacred and important celebration in the Russian Empire. The night when thousands of candles illuminated the great cathedrals of Russia, and the Romanov dynasty gathered alongside nobles, military commanders, and ordinary people for one of the grandest religious ceremonies of the year. For Russian Orthodox Christians, Easter was more than a celebration. It symbolized rebirth, hope, and life after darkness. And on this sacred night, one of history's most legendary treasures was born.
Mother, when will we receive our Easter gifts?
After tonight's supper at the palace, my dear.
The palace awaits us.
Indeed, it is magnificent. Shall we proceed? I can hardly believe it.
That night, when the Empress first saw the egg, she was speechless. For several long moments, she simply stood there, staring at it in silence beneath the golden chandeliers of the palace. No one in the ballroom had ever seen anything like it before. And from that night on, the Easter egg became a tradition within the House of Romanov. Every year, a new masterpiece would be created, more elaborate, more mysterious, more extraordinary than the last. After the death of Tsar Alexander III in 1894, his son, Nicholas II, became the new Tsar of Russia. But Russia was no longer the calm and powerful empire it once had been. By the late 1890s and early 1900s, poverty, public anger, worker strikes, and political unrest began spreading across the empire. And slowly, the Romanov dynasty started losing control. In February 1917, massive protests erupted in Petrograd, modern-day St. Petersburg. Even the soldiers no longer wanted to defend the Tsar, and eventually, Nicholas II was forced to abdicate. After more than 300 years, the Romanov dynasty had fallen. After the revolution, many imperial palaces were looted, royal treasures disappeared, priceless jewels were stolen, and some of the legendary Fabergé eggs were hidden, sold, or vanished for decades. In 1918, Nicholas II and his family were imprisoned by the Bolsheviks, and finally, in the city of Yekaterinburg, the entire Romanov family was executed, and with their deaths, the Russian Empire came to an end forever. No one knows exactly how this legendary egg finally made its way to America. But one thing is certain. Somewhere along the journey, it lost its true identity. People no longer saw it as an imperial treasure, only as a piece of gold, a few jewels, and an old valuable object. It was bought and sold over and over again, without anyone realizing It had once belonged to the Romanov dynasty, until decades later, a man at an American flea market purchased it only for the value of its gold. He even planned to melt it down and sell it. But when he discovered the truth, the same egg that had once been forgotten was eventually sold for nearly $33 million. And once again, it became one of the world's most legendary lost treasures.